on episode 19 of the Inside Bite. I'm your host, Tim Schaefer. I'm here with my co-host, Rudy. How's it going this week?
Doing great, man. I woke up nice and early today. I woke up at 6:30. I don't know why. I just woke up. I felt refreshed for the first time in a while. And I just started playing some video games. And let me tell you what, it was glorious. The kids were sleeping. My wife was sleeping. I turned on my monitor and I quickly turned off the other one. Keep the brightness down a little bit. I played some Guardians. It was nice. No one bothered me. No kids, no wife, nothing. It was amazing. So it's the little things,
I guess you're a few hours in now.
Yeah. I'm probably 5 hours in now or something like that.
Cool.
I guess you start to appreciate those little things a little more as you get older, because it wouldn't be a big deal years ago, but now it's a huge deal. So.
That's just getting old.
Right. It's very nice, peaceful, quiet. It doesn't happen much around here. So the funny thing is that's not even really my personality. Like, I like to, be loud and have fun and all that. But that particular thing, very nice in the mornings, It's worth getting up earlier. And then tonight I'll just pass out earlier, I guess. Especially but this time change will help me, obviously, with the daylight savings.
Especially Sunday.
Oh, man, so nice. Looking forward. I know I shouldn't be wishing for my kids to get older, but I am looking forward to when they're a little older and I don't have to get up as early. It's going to be very nice. So
make me a bowl of cereal at 5 a.m.
How about you? What's going on? Anything new?
I've been working a lot on the show stuff itself.
Mm-hmm.
Just keeping myself busy with all this, but I haven't really been doing anything interesting.
I gotcha. Okay. Fair enough.
I keep doing bonfires just because it's cold out and it gives me an excuse to do a bonfire. So I'm just going to keep doing them.
That's cool. Yeah.
I've done 3 this week, I want to say.
Nice. You always have the same people come by, or is it different people, or what?
I mean, even if it's just me, my wife, and my kid, I'll be like, bonfire.
That works too, man. It's nice. You don't feel like you have to do anything. You just kind of sit by the fire and relax, So
yeah.
That's always nice. All right.
So we're just talking like old men still.
I know it's early in the morning, well, somewhat early, but I had a little something I thought could be fun for us to do. So once I start reading about this stuff, I always get way into it and I can't stop reading about it. So it's like paradoxes, right? I was talking to the kids at school the other day about this stuff and they're just like, what? I don't understand. What does that mean? They're just so cannot wrap their head around it, but not the way that me or you would. They just can't wrap their head around it because they're almost not even interested. And I try to get them interested, but they just don't care, I guess. So I have a few here that I want to talk with you about that I think.
Okay.
All right. So the first two are pretty simple. The third one is going to require, I think, some brain power from us. All right. So number one, this one's called the Dichotomy Paradox. And this is what it is. Imagine that you're about to set off walking down the street. To reach the other end, you'd first have to walk halfway there. And to walk halfway there, you'd first have to walk a quarter of the way there. And to walk a quarter of the way there, you'd first have to walk an eighth of the way there. And before that, a 16th of the way there. And then the 32nd and 64th and so on, right? So ultimately, in order to perform even the simplest of tasks, like walking down the street, you'd have to perform an infinite number of smaller tasks. Something that by definition is utterly impossible. Not only that, but no matter how small the first part of the journey is said to be, it can always be halved to create another task. The only way in which it cannot be halved would be to consider the first part of the journey to be of absolutely no distance whatsoever. Motion is not actually possible because, no, it sounds so funny. Because, and remember, I'm just doing my best to explain this, but I'm no expert. You can't really say, here, you know what? Before we explain that one, let me read you the second one because it ties right together with that one. All right, so here's the second one. Let's travel. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I cut that one out. But the second one was basically saying, if you have a series of still images of something happening, right? Let's say someone's jumping off a swing or something, and you get an image of every single instant, right? While they're doing this. They basically are saying that there's no motion happening in any of these images, and therefore, in each moment, therefore, motion is impossible. Both these things lead back to motion is not a possible thing because of what's going on here.
Because it's saying keeps cutting in half, and then eventually you could do that for an infinity amount of times.
Yep.
Thus, infinity is impossible for you to do the action, thus meaning that it's now impossible. I mean, I honestly am just nah, I don't actually agree and connect the two.
Yeah, of course. Those two are simple, fun little activities, right? But this one, I just wanted to point those out because I thought they were a cool thing to think about. But this one is actually very strange, right? So listen to this one. All right. This is called the Monty Hall problem. And what it is, here, let me pull up the picture I had here. Hold on. This one has to do with a game show. Okay, so check this out. All right, so you have this guy, Monty Hall. He's the host of a popular game show, okay? Now, Monty Hall asks you to choose one of 3 doors. Shows you 3 doors, right? Door 1, 2, 3. He says one of the doors hides a prize of $1 million. The other two doors have no prize, just a brick. Okay. So you have to choose a door, 1, 2, 3. So you state out loud which door you pick, but you don't open it right away. Now, after you do that, Monty then opens one of the other two doors and there's no prize behind it. So now at this moment, there are 2 doors closed, one of which you picked already. You follow me so far?
Okay, so I picked one. The other 2 are still closed. Okay.
No, wait, you picked one. After you picked one, he purposely opened a second door and said, there's no prize behind this one.
Okay.
Now, next thing he says is, do you want to stick with the door you picked or do you want to switch doors? So, first of all, I guess I'll ask you, what would you do? Would you stay with the door you picked?
So I picked, but it didn't open yet.
Right.
And he opened another one. There wasn't anything in it. Okay.
That's right.
So I'm like literally at a 50-50 chance right now.
Okay, I'm glad you said that.
Okay.
So this is what it says next. The majority of people assume that both doors are now equally likely to have the prize. It appears like the door you chose has a 50-50 chance because there's no perceived reason to change. Most stick with their initial choice. Okay, I would agree with that. Now,
I would change, just, I don't know, because it'd be in my head, and I would be like, actually, bam. And then, I don't know. I would keep second guess. I think I would, like, if I could flip a coin or something in my head.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're not even to the whole thing yet, right? So most people, like you said, they think, okay, he showed me the third. Well, let's back up. You pick the door, pick door 1. He then shows you door 3. There's nothing behind door 3. Now you're left with door 1 and 2. Most people would assume 50-50 chance, doesn't really matter, right? Okay. Now, time to shatter this illusion with the truth.
Uh-oh.
Okay. If you switch doors, you double your probability of winning. Now, how is that? Well, I'm going to explain that to you right now.
How's that? Okay.
This one actually made sense to me, but it took me, I had to read it like 10 times, okay?
Okay.
All right, so check this out. The only random portion of the process that you just did is your first choice, right? Your initial pick.
Yeah.
When you pick the first of 3 doors, you have a 33% chance of picking the correct one, right? 1 and 3. The process stops being random when Monty Hall, the game show host, uses his insider knowledge about the prize's location. It's easiest to understand if you think about it from his point of view. When it's time for him to open a door, after you pick a door, there are 2 doors he can open. If he chose the door using a random process, he'd flip a coin or something, right? However, Monty is constrained because he doesn't want to reveal the prize. Therefore, Monty very carefully opens only a door that does not contain the prize.
Yeah.
The end result is that the door he doesn't show you and lets you switch to has a higher probability of containing the prize. That's how the process is neither random nor has constant probabilities. Now,
that still doesn't make sense to me. But
well, it's because, all right, here, I'll go through these scenarios that they list here.
Because either mine would have it or the other. Yeah, he doesn't want to say the one with the prize, so he picks the other. I get that.
Right.
Why does that one little statement of him picking that now mean it's higher? That doesn't make sense to me.
Here's the 3 choices, right? The probability that your initial door choice is wrong is 66%, right? Your initial chance that it's right is 33%. Chance that it's wrong is 66. Let's say 0.6, whatever. Okay. Now, the following sequence is totally deterministic when you choose the wrong door. Therefore, it happens 66% of the time. So, number 1, you pick the incorrect door by random chance. The prize is behind one of the other 2 doors. Number 2, Monty knows the prize location, so he opens the only door available to him that does not have the prize.
Makes sense.
Then number 3, by process of elimination, the prize must be behind the door that he does not open. Because this process occurs 66% of the time, and because it always ends with the prize behind the door, then Monty allows you to switch to. The switch to door must have the prize 66% of the time. I'm going to send this to you because, again, it didn't calculate in my head until I read the whole thing multiple times. But
yeah, it's not. It's
but the way I'm trying to think about it is like you pick the right door, let's say, right? And he knows that. And then he says, you could try one of these other ones. I think that would jumble things up. But if you're looking at the majority of, just a whole number of people doing it, a large number of people, 66% of people will probably initially pick the wrong door, right? Then they're left with 2 more choices. But by him saying, I'm going to open this door for you, then doesn't that make the chances even greater now? Because he's not going to pick the door that's open and you picked the wrong door already.
That depends on his personality at that point. That solely depends on...
Well, no, he wouldn't reveal it, would he?
No, he wouldn't reveal it anyway. But what I'm saying is, like, let's say you pick the one that you actually picked, right? What's stopping him from still doing the action that he just did? What's stopping him?
So let's see.
So let's say you did pick it. He's still going to go through the motions and be like, oh, I'm also going to show that it's not this door. Do you want to change?
Okay.
That's just as probable for him to do that, depending on the person. Now, if the person isn't like that? What if the person was just like, oh, well, you picked the right door, and then just ended it?
Okay, I think I can understand how to explain this now that you said that. All right, so I get what you're saying, but the reason why you have 2/3 chance now is because overall the chances. What are the chances of him? Or excuse me, let me start again. What are the chances of you off the bat picking the right choice? What did we say that was?
33.
Okay, that means there's 66% chance that every single person who does this in the start is going to pick the wrong door, right?
I agree.
So if there's 66% chance that out of everyone you pick the wrong door first, if you pick the wrong door first, then what comes next makes your chances 66% chance of picking the next door. Do you understand what I mean? This wouldn't work if you pick the right door off the bat. It only increases your chances if you pick the wrong door off the bat. So if Tim comes in, picks the wrong door right away.
I have 66% chance of picking the wrong door. Because I picked the wrong door. Now my next door I pick, also 66%.
You have 66% chance if you switch because, again, you picked the wrong door initially. He's not going to reveal the prize. So it's got to be one of those first 2 doors. It's not out of 3 anymore.
Yeah.
Because we know... God, I'm like confusing myself, but it made sense in my head a second ago. But I guess what I'm trying to say is because 66% of the chance people pick the wrong door off the bat, that's the only reason why there's more of a chance when you switch. Now, if you pick the right door off the bat, you got great luck, then this is not going to work. But again, that's only 33% of the time, right?
I hear everything you're saying, but I still don't see how. I don't know.
I'll send you the website after the show. Whatever. You got to check it out.
I'll look at it more, but
it's really interesting. But I just like stuff like this because it kind of gets you thinking about.
It's cool. It's cool. I like it.
There's a bunch of them that are kind of interesting. Let me show you this last thing. I didn't want to read this because it's hard to convey a table. But there's a table that they put out that says, it'll probably be hard for me to illustrate the truth of this solution, right? That turns out to be the easy part. I can show you in this short table below. You just need to be able to count to 6. Turns out that there are only 9 different combinations of choices and outcomes. Therefore, I can just show them all to you, and we calculate the percentage for each outcome. So there's a table then that says the following. You pick 1, prize door 1, you win. Obviously, you don't switch. You switch, you lose, right? But then it goes 1 by 1. Let's say the next one. You pick 1, the prize door is 2. If you don't switch, you lose. If you switch, you win. And it goes through all of them, and it calculates the percentage of your chances of winning if you don't switch.
Well, then it must be correct if...
Right.
They're doing all of that work.
It's way cooler than not. I like explaining it the other way instead of just looking at a table. But yeah, the table's there.
Okay.
Anyway, just found it interesting. Last one, because I remember this one in my head and I think it's interesting. Okay, here we go. If a man has 0 hairs on his head, we say he's bald, right? However, if a man has 10,000 hairs on his head, we don't say he's bald. We say he's not bald, right?
Okay.
But what if we add a single hair to the head of the man with 0 hairs? He would still clearly be bald, right? Now let's say a man that has 1,000 hairs only, but the strands are evenly spaced and really thin. Would this man be bald or not bald? Would you consider a single grain of wheat a heap of wheat? Probably not. How about 2 grains? Still probably not. So when do a few grains or a few hairs end up being a whole heap or baldness actually begin?
My easy, simple answer is like even with 1 hair, now he's not technically bald. You know what I mean? That's all it is. A bald would, by definition, mean no hair. Once there was a single hair, it wouldn't be bald anymore. Now, we in casual conversation would still just say bald, but
of course. Like me, you would say I was bald even if there's any hairs.
We would,
of course,
all be wrong if we were like speaking specifically, to the term. But
the only other one that the kids were arguing with me about at school was really funny. It was like if you have a large ship and over time you start replacing pieces of the ship one at a time, right?
Yeah.
Take this piece off, replace it. At what point does it become a new ship? Is it still the old ship? That was another one I thought was kind of interesting.
Oh, yeah, that's cool. My initial answer, once it went over like maybe 50% of old parts versus new parts, then I would consider it a new ship. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's what I would do because it's more new than old.
This kind of reminds me of and trust me, this is definitely not a topic I would ever entertain on here at all, but it's like the whole abortion thing. When people start talking about it, they're like, well, this far or this far. You know what I mean? It's like a similar, it's like a similar thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, now that you got your brain stimulated, I think we're good to go.
And thinking about abortion.
Monty Hall one, though, I like that one. Yeah, right? Oh, man, what a great topic.
Actually, we should just spend the rest of the episode talking about that.
All right, that's it, guys. This is Polititalk. The inside politic. No, that Monty Hall problem I like just because I'm a big math person. You know, I really love everything about math. So
yeah, I don't want to say I love math, but I will say I'm good at math. Now, loving it, I don't know. That's a bit strong.
Yeah,
I have flashbacks of what one problem being 2 pages. And wanting to kill myself, it's a little far.
I've always really enjoyed math. So,
what about like the calculus stuff, to where you actually have to deal with like the cosines and all that mess with graphing and all that? I don't like any of that at all. It's not even close to anything I enjoy. But like, I use algebra, I actually enjoy, or enjoy maybe even geometry, even trigonometry is like, okay, I can enjoy that, but for some reason, when it comes to specifically calculus, I despise it with every being in me.
When I took calculus and pre-calc and things like that, it was tough, you know, for a while there. When I was younger, I was always decent at math, but my dad is an electrician and he's like a super math person. So he was always so tough on me with math. And then I just started really liking it. And now that I'm teaching 5th grade math, it's not calculus, but it's still, I guarantee a lot of people that we know in our personal lives probably wouldn't know how to do half the things we're doing in 5th grade math.
Let's put it this way. My kid's in 2nd grade, okay? I have no issues with it, okay? It's 2nd grade math. I hope to God I don't.
Right.
But I have seen people look at his work and not know how to do it. And this is 2nd grade math. I'm like, dear God. So, no, for sure. There's plenty of, and I'm not trying to crap on these people. I mean, we have, it's people that have seen it for 10, 20, 30 years without even looking at any of this stuff, and they don't care and they don't use it. It's eventually going to push out of your brain at some point, right?
Right. I just think I just find it so important, especially 5th grade. Like, a lot of the things we're learning are things that I actually do still use every day in my life. Like, it's not useless things, you know?
That's one of a billion reasons, like I've said, on other reasons, is 5th grade seems so good is because it's still stuff you would use today.
Right.
When you start still going a little higher than that, that's when they start throwing stuff on like, hey, really? Okay, now you should just whip out a calculator. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then you should just go that route. You shouldn't be needing to pull a calculator out when it comes to 5th grade. Now,
totally agree.
I'm sure you do just for the sake of saving time on some things or whatever, but you shouldn't have to.
No, you don't have to. And my students don't even use calculators or anything. I told them like finding the volume.
Well, I just mean you like maybe grading something.
Right.
You don't want to sit there and like work out every problem you're touching. That would just be way too much time, of course.
Oh, no, too much.
As the teacher, I would just easily,
I know how to do it, so it's fine. I can use the calculator if I need to. But I told them like finding the volume of a shape. Like, I know it seems like it's not important, but think about it.
It is.
You're building a desk, a table, or something in the future. You need to know how to find the length, the width, the height, and how to calculate the total.
Dealing with liquids, dealing with any masses. Like, you have to deal with that the rest of your life. Yeah.
Anyway, enough math talk, I guess, for today.
Elden Ring.
Oh my God.
Let's talk about that.
Dude.
I don't know. I guess you go first, because I got a lot to say.
Yeah, so I know we've discussed things like this in the past, but normally if I was at work and I missed some sort of showcase, something like that, I would normally just throw it up on I always want to wait till I get home, but if it's something that's not that big a deal, I'll just like throw it up on my phone, put it on there while I'm driving home, and just kind of like have it in the background. But this, I was like, nope, I'm waiting until I stop and I'm watching this and I'm soaking it all in, like on my TV.
Yeah, you want it like full blown on your television, 4K, all of that. Yeah.
Because on your phone, it's like, it looks good, but then it's fixing its quality here and there. Periodically, it's changing, you know. I didn't want any of that. I wanted like a hardwire, watch it. Anyway, I watched the 15 minutes of gameplay, and I got to say, I went through a series of stages here. Like, number one, I was like, okay, this looks a lot like, it reminds me of a lot of Dark Souls stuff. But then and that wasn't a bad thing, by the way, but as more time went on, I'm like, okay, this is like an evolution of Dark Souls. This is like, we're taking everything we've learned from Sekiro, Bloodborne, Dark Souls, everything, and we're putting it onto one very ambitious game. And then I started seeing, like, if that was the whole game already, I'd already be impressed. Then when I started seeing the world is a huge world, and they took cues from Zelda, which I was so happy about let you place your icons, right? Let me let you make the world, not Ubisoft, 1,000 question marks all over the place.
Full stop right there. Can you only imagine?
Oh my God.
Pull up that map. It's all fancy and stuff. Just populate it all over icons. Everyone would just start vomiting and be like, please, God, no.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm so glad that that's not the case here.
Of course, they're smarter than that. They would know
Yep,
not
yep.
to do that. But just, it would be
They.
hilarious. That's
Oh
what
my
we saw.
god,
Elden
that would
Ring,
be.
and then that's that.
Yeah, I just love that they take a minimalist approach, right? Think about their combat. The combat is not so super convoluted and complicated, but you have to be good at what you're doing. It's simple, yet it's effective, right? And then they take the combat, and now they've revolutionized it. Now you've added like spells and moves, and you're on horseback, and even the way the map is drawn out, it looks like I'm looking at some old. It looks like I'm looking at like a Game of Thrones map. You know, Game of Thrones would have like the intro sequence with the maps and everything. That's kind of what it reminded me of, and I was like, "This looks so cool."
So, hold on, let's stick on the map here too. I'm pretty sure I know they did say you can buy map sections, right?
Yes, that was another thing.
But did they also say it was a fog of war thing to where if you just walk, it shows?
What?
Or is it only if you buy map? That's what I was trying to figure out.
I don't remember them saying that. I almost feel like it might be like a Hollow Knight thing, which is you travel the area, nothing changes. The map is still non-existent. Mm-hmm. Then when you purchase the map, everything you've traveled is now being shown. Okay. But is it like Metroid where it's like you see the map layout, but it's not filled in yet? I don't know. I don't know for sure yet.
I'm curious if there's like a half step there. If you just happen to be going over it, what exactly are you seeing? Are you seeing anything? Do you only see stuff when you buy? I was curious about that, but anyway.
Yeah, me too. I'm gonna have to see. Obviously we'll find out, but yeah, I was very impressed when I saw the map. The fact that there's like 6 mainline dungeons, but then within this there's the whole world. When they were walking up on the castle, and you see the castle up ahead of you, and he's walking up in the sky, and I was like, this is so impressive.
So the sky looked like, what's that famous painting with it, like the moonlight,
like the Starry Night or whatever. Yes. Yeah.
Tell me it didn't look like that.
Yes, it did. Yep. Dude, I was just blown away by what I saw. Yeah. It just looked amazing. And then the boss fight at the end, I was like, this looks like what I've been doing before, but just better, which is great. And like that video you sent me, the Kyle Bosman one, I thought that was so funny.
It's amazing.
When he did the analysis on the character with the little lanky arms, and he's just like a little pot or whatever.
One thing he tried so hard to drive home is, look, it's the second thing they showed. It was like, it wasn't even a minute into it yet, right?
Yep.
And this is what you're showing, and it's a good section of it. You really do have to be confident enough to know that, we don't have to try to like throw flashy cool things so people pay attention. Like, dude, you're good. You're golden. You can show whatever you want, and people are going to suck it in. All the way to the point of just really basic interaction. But we say basic, but again, he then goes to show how elaborate such a basic interaction is. And that's why the game is going to be as amazing as is. Because if you can take what seems so basic compared to the rest, and even that seems superior to what anyone else is doing, you're golden.
They're clearly confident, right? They showed their initial trailer, 2 years ago, almost at this point. Then they went radio silent.
Oh, sorry. We're talking about the guy stuck in the ground and him hitting him out with the club. That's what that's so what I was referencing. Anyway,
I love that. I love he's like, well, don't worry. I'm very experienced in this and all this stuff. Just like, this is great, man. But yeah, I got to say, they're very confident. Clearly, they did their initial trailer. They went silent for a while. Then they show us a little gameplay trailer. People went crazy. Then they're quiet. Then they say, here's 20 minutes of gameplay. I mean, that's crazy. And then here's the release date, and that's that. I just think that they know what this game's going to be and how well it will be received. I mean, when that dragon came down, I was like, I know I have some friends who are obsessed with Skyrim, and they always talk about how great it is. That's fine, but that dragon battle right there did more for me than Skyrim could ever do. I'm sorry. It's just the Skyrim combat was never great to me at all.
Again, it's only been, I guess, a year and a half now since I've even been into any of these games. Okay.
Sure.
I can still remember seeing a dragon in previous stuff. If I was me 2 years back, not played through these games yet, and I saw a dragon come down, it would immediately turn me off from playing the game, because I'm like, how do they expect us to fight an actual dragon? And they're not being like simple with it. The thing like can kill you in 1 or 2 hits. Why are we getting faced with something like this? So now I got to spend like weeks, if not months, fighting one little thing. This ain't going to be fun. This is going to feel like a big chore. I don't want to touch it. And then it just turns people away, right?
Yep.
So I remember having those feelings when I was watching this moment of being like, wow, feeling confident that I could fight him and I wasn't worried. Because I remembered so very recently, I was not confident at all in being able to fight a dragon like that. Yep. So it's really cool to now be like, oh, I could do that.
Yeah. After playing Dark Souls, you feel like it doesn't matter how big an enemy is, you feel like you could beat him.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've played Dark Souls 2, but there's a fight in Dark Souls 2 that's completely optional. It's against this dragon called the Ancient Dragon. Yo, he is literally on a huge circular arena. Like, I'm talking about when you're running in the game full speed, it'll take you a good 40 seconds to get to the other side of it.
Oh, God.
So it's funny. You go over, you whack his foot a few times, and then he like gets ready to breathe fire, and you just run as far as you can. It's awesome. Yeah. But yeah, after that fight, that was the one that made me kind of a believer in, okay, it's realistic now. I can see myself beating this freaking dragon. But yeah, man, I was very into what I saw. So how about you?
I said it in the forum thing, but I'll say it again here. Mm-hmm. It made me feel a lot of things to where when I was a kid, let's just say like 10, 11, 12 range, right? And I'm playing Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask and stuff like that, Zelda and 64 days. Because before that, it was top-down 2D. Our imaginations are just very rapid, right? So we're kind of thinking like, who knows where this could go? But when we actually saw it in 3D and got more of a context of like, oh, this is where they could actually really take things.
Right.
And 64 days Zelda, that's when I'm having these thoughts of like, wow, can you imagine what things could be when I'm like 60 or 70 years old? That was my thing in my head was like, when I'm like an elder, like a guy in a wheelchair and I can barely walk in the games that would be out at that time. What was in my head of my imagination. This is surpassing that. And it's only like 10, 15 years later from that moment, you know what I mean? This isn't 60 years later, and we're achieving stuff that I was assuming wouldn't be possible till I was about to pretty much fall over.
Yep.
So it super excites me just on that front because like it's so huge open world thing. But what makes this so different is almost kind of the same with Breath of the Wild is, okay, the fact that we actually have the tech to be able to make such great artistic visions feel believable, but still very artsy and sort of in your face and not like looking realistic, but not enough fantasy going on or something.
Right.
The amount of fantasy in this is insane, and the amount of beauty in it and all of that, and it running as well as it does and looking as good as it does. And you're still performing these actions of like as if you're playing Skyrim, which you go and you play Skyrim again, like the combat is so jank and feels so stiff.
It feels so weird.
Yeah. And then, but you know, you get the dungeons of a Skyrim, but you get the gameplay of this.
Exactly.
And it's almost all of these things from all of these corners of gaming that we've like gotten really good at this and gotten really good at that. Now it almost feels like a full compass of it all inside of one game, you know?
So exciting,
From Zelda to Elder Scrolls to
their own
to an action game, like to Sekiro, you know what I mean?
Right.
And whenever he's playing too, there's so many moments to where I was so happy. The combat is very Sekiro. Watch whenever he's doing a lot of those like dodged encounters that Sekiro does, and it's very fluid and fast like Sekiro. And I was like, thank God, this is the combat I wanted, because same with Bloodborne. It's very fast and fluid like that too.
Yeah, in your face.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. I was kind of like worried we were going to get the Dark Souls of like the more grunty and more slow.
More defensive, slow, yeah.
Not like that. Now, I'm sure you would just get heavy armor where you would be slow and more heavy, and then you could go it more in that style.
Sure.
But knowing there's a fast combat in here is like cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it reminds me of Dark Souls 3 a little bit in the sense that Dark Souls 3 was faster than 1 and 2, but it still has the Dark Souls mechanics in there. So it reminds me of that, plus what you said, Sekiro, with the way you're kind of like countering and getting in there and everything. Like I said before, it really seems like a amalgamation.
It was a very, not snappy, because snappy almost feels like rigid. It wasn't rigid. It was a smooth but fast at the same time, sort of.
Yeah. And I'm glad they still have like the backstabs in the game and things like that, like classic Dark Souls things. And now we have an actual jump. It's so funny. Like some of the best games I've ever played for so long didn't have a jump button, and they made it work somehow. Like Dark Souls never had. Zelda's another one. Dark Souls didn't have a dedicated jump button. It was like you have to run and press a certain button while you're running, and then you'll jump. I was like, what the heck?
I just wanted to say that it was the most impactful showcase of a video game I think I've ever seen, and it's really wild for me to say that, but I'm sitting there trying to think of like specifically a showcase for a video game. What Smash is pretty hype when you're seeing it for the first time and all of that. I would say that would be my biggest highlight of like Ultimate getting announced or Melee getting announced or whatever, but I think this is like probably the best thing I've seen them showcasing a game.
And remember, we're separating this from a normal trailer, just like an actual showcase of the gameplay. I can't think of really any game that I was more impressed by. And the fact that we got 20 minutes is just ridiculous. Like it said 15 minutes and then it went even a little longer. It's like, this is just so impressive.
One thought I kept having in my head, but it's a thing I've been saying so many times, and I'll get over, and in a few years we'll finally be in the new age. But I am like a little bummed that it's not just PS5, Series X.
I know.
The fact that they have to throw these on the older systems, we know it could be better than what it is.
Yeah, I guess it just makes me excited for the next one, Elden Ring 2, if that's what happens next, you know? But yeah, that does suck.
And another thought too is, I mean, I didn't even want to jump to this, but it's in my head, I'm going to forget. What do they do after this? Because this is a combination of all they've done, making a like greatest hits sort of game with all their little stuff all into one game. So how do you gonna and then you go back to like it not being open anymore and being like restricting yourself back again? It's gonna be kind of a weird. We're gonna enjoy this and then we're gonna just want more of that. Why would I want?
They'll make a new trilogy again, I assume, because now they made it clear the Dark Souls series itself is over.
Yeah.
They made Sekiro, they made Bloodborne. Okay, now probably Elden Ring will be the new.
Because I wasn't sold on. I don't want them always open world, but seeing them actually like nail it. Yeah, I do. I do. I do want it this way.
What I like about them is they're not scared to switch it up, even if their series is doing very well. I mean, they moved the Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3 all sold, especially 3 sold so much, and then they cut that off anyway, you know? So I think they know what they're doing no matter what they do. I'll be there. I'll buy the game. So I'm not worried about it, but I can't wait until February, man. It's super exciting.
The dungeons seemed way better than previous little dungeon areas. I don't know.
Yep.
I mean, I guess the voice acting hasn't been bad before, but it's just seeming better delivery than they've ever done. Everything seems so much better than what they've done prior.
Yeah, as it should. I think that anyone who is expecting this game to all of a sudden have a story told in the way that God of War told it, like in your face, it's not like that. I don't know why people keep expecting it. That's not what it is.
Maybe hopefully they'll actually have a good story. First of all,
they have a great story. It's not told the way that you want them to tell it. That's all it is. It's all about like the way I really admire these guys who they get everything, they piece everything together, all the item descriptions, all the things that I watched videos on some of the bosses in Dark Souls 1, and there's like tragic backstories going on and all this stuff that you just, if you weren't paying attention, it would completely miss you. But I'm fine with that. I don't. I'm more about the gameplay anyway.
Zelda gets it, and they know it. They're doing the same thing. You want to tell a story on like through the journey of the player. You don't want to like actually just narrate the whole game and have like, I don't know, cinematic cutscenes to where someone's talking and explaining something, and you meeting this character. Oh, here's a 10-minute of them talking and you talking back, and that way a story can be delivered. You don't need any of that.
It's not to say that I don't like stories being told the way that Guardians of the Galaxy is telling. It's not that. It's just that these games in particular... It's a different style game, and I don't want them mashed with something else, and now this game's worse because of it. The lore is very rich. If you want to dig into it, you can. It's like, it reminds me of like Hollow Knight. I love the story in Hollow Knight, but it was told the same way that this is told, you know? Piece things together, you get some information, and so on. If you don't like that, it's okay. You don't have to like it. I don't understand. You don't have to... I mean, it's what it is. You don't have to think the game's trash because it's not doing what you want it to do. Right. I mean, I want people who hated Dark Souls to not go into this thinking that they're going to love this. If you hated Dark Souls, maybe you'll like this, but I have a strong feeling that you're just not going to like this game either.
I don't want to say
know.
full on that because this is doing many things different. Because again, there's so many facets to so many different style games that they do, all kind of thrown into one, plus doing something that they've never done before of adding the Zelda formula on top of it even more than ever.
Right.
It's a lot like Shadow of the Colossus sort of thing, to where you're going to different areas and they'll have like their own objectives and dungeons inside that area and all of that.
Well, I should clarify that. I don't mean just Dark Souls. I guess I mean the From Software games, like the way that they make their games.
Yeah.
I think if you didn't like any of them, yeah, there's a chance you'd like this. I just don't.
Because I can see someone not liking Dark Souls, but liking Sekiro.
Right.
I can totally see that.
Yeah, that's what we should change it to, all those games. Yeah. If you didn't like any of them, then, the challenging combat, basically the combat where you're on equal footing with the enemy. If you don't like that, you're probably going to have a harder time in this. So I hope it's co-op. Did they say anything about I assume it's co-op still,
They went into that too. They said that
they did. I forgot.
You can play with the friends. Someone can. It's just
That's
like
so
before.
cool.
Someone can invade.
Right.
Someone can invade and help you. Someone can invade and try to harm you, or a friend can join you and play throughout it with you.
I assume there'll be similar things to like in the past ones, like when you become human, now you're susceptible to invasion. When you're hollowed, then you can't, and things like that. I'm sure they'll figure it out. So
I mean, they've been doing it well. I want to keep that trajectory going. I don't want to be playing to where if I don't want invasions, I get them invasions anyway.
Right.
Don't do that.
You probably have a choice.
I definitely want a choice, but they've always done a choice. So why would they do different?
Right. They've done a choice, but you have to give something to get that choice, right? You can't have the extra health.
Yeah, it rewards you if you decide to, make it harder for yourself and get evasions. Hey, but you also get rewarded with more health.
There was something in Demon Souls that has been missing from all the games except the Demon Souls remake, which was the world tendency. And you could mess with the world tendency by doing really horrible things, and you can make it a dark tendency. And then enemies get tougher. You can find more, good items, but everyone can kill you way easier. Or you can do the opposite. It's a light tendency. So I wonder if they'll ever bring that back too, because that'd be interesting. Anyway, very exciting. I can't wait. So
I loved it though, man. I'm very shocked on how much I liked it, and it's really weird because I'm so new to all of this. And
right.
I wasn't thinking I would be like, because I wasn't until this moment. I was hyped for Elden Ring, but I wasn't like, oh wow, I can't think of a single game I could possibly be more hyped for. And now I'm like, dang, sorry Zelda, I'm more hyped for this.
Sorry everything, man. God, I love seeing people get into, because I've been into the only person I could possibly think of who's been playing the Souls games longer than me is probably Dave, to be honest, because I remember he started with the first one. But I've been playing these games for, man, I don't know, over a decade now probably, and I love seeing people get into them. Like I always see it, like I'm gonna give Dark Souls 1 a try, and a few days later they post like, oh my god, just beat my first boss, that was so exhilarating, I can't. And then they keep going, and I just love that. So the more people get into it, the better. So,
and I was watching, was it Yang Ye on YouTube?
Yeah
he was talking about Elden Ring. He was doing the gameplay, watching over, and then afterwards he said something that I've been saying many times, and you've been saying many times, is people kind of over exaggerate the difficulty of the game.
Oh yeah, they sure do.
It isn't as hard as people are making it sound.
Right.
He said exactly what we said, is once it sort of clicks, you're about a third of the way through, midway through, however long it takes, but once it clicks, you're good, and you can just pretty much play whatever game after that. And it's never really like, okay, it can be challenging, but it's like fun and all of that. But it's never that moment to where before it clicks to where you're just seeming like, even if you've accomplished something, you don't feel rewarded. You just feel like I spent way too much time on that. I eventually beat it, but I just feel, okay, well now it's just going even harder and even harder. And this isn't fun. And I hate all of this. And those were my feelings till the moment it clicked. And I don't know how else to word it other than just
that's really all it is. You just gotta learn the rules of the game, and even if you do, in Bloodborne, for example, that first area with the open street, even if you do die there 15 times in a row and you haven't successfully been able to use any of your blood echoes to level up, you're still gaining something. You're gaining skill. You're learning how to fight.
Doing worse than others, and then they feel discouraged because of that. but they need to understand everyone's been there.
Yeah, and again, you are gaining experience. You're gaining, even if it's not a number, you're still getting better at the game. This time you don't get hit by that. This time you parry the enemy, whatever it is. And the first time you run up onto that bridge and you fight the cleric beast and he wipes you out, you're like, oh my God, I got to get back there and try that again. That was awesome. So.
Well, at that time, I don't think they're even feeling it's awesome. I feel they're feeling defeated and this sucks. I feel what's in their head.
I guess obviously I can only go off but I had already played Souls games before that, so that's how I felt. But yes, I totally get what you're saying. But I think everyone just needs to don't go into it with the idea that this is so incredibly hard, and just think of it more as, okay, I have to be more careful. I can't play this absent-mindedly. I have to pay attention, and that's it. You just have to kind of play the game on its own terms. And I don't know why anyone would want to change that. Why would you want to change the way that the game was designed? I just doesn't make any sense.
Once it clicks, you're going to keep going, and that from that point on, it's just going to be an enjoyable experience. Okay,
right.
And now you have a plethora of stuff to play, and then you have stuff to look forward to, and all of that.
That's how it always goes. People play one of them. They start with whatever, Dark Souls 3 or Bloodborne, and they're like, oh my God, I want to play all the. There's more of these. I need to play all of them.
What's the one that they start? See, that's the thing. I would love to say Bloodborne, but I can't because it's that stupid 30 FPS thing, and then people try to play that, especially now. They're gonna be like, "No, I'm good."
If you're a console only person, I think they'd probably be fine. They probably wouldn't.
They're not. Well, till now. Now that PS5 and Series S and X and all this, and now you're getting 120 frames.
We need this port. Where is this port? How are you going to port?
I don't think you can say that.
How are you going to give Days Gone, God of War, Horizon all get 60 FPS and Bloodborne gets nothing? Like, give me a break.
Anyway, I don't think you can say Bloodborne, so I guess Dark Souls 3.
Dark Souls 3 would be a good entry point. Even Dark Souls 1, the remastered
Demon Souls. That's what I would say.
Demon Souls would be great too, but in my opinion, I think Demon Souls is more ruthless than Dark Souls 1 unless you play specifically as magic.
The level design is, but the bosses aren't. Yeah. The bosses are kind of easy.
The bosses are easier, but yes, the levels. Yeah. Because in Dark Souls 1...
So what's better for the player, level or bosses? I don't know.
Yeah, it depends. And Demon Souls, you can do easy mode. Seriously, if you go magic, oh my God, you shred everyone.
I wouldn't, though. That's no fun.
No, I don't want people to do that, because do that the second time through. Yeah, you're right. Now I screwed up. Whoops. Do it the second time through. Don't do it the first time. First time, do like a sword and board and have fun and go go in there and
shoot everyone with your little.
Oh God, I could talk about Souls games for all day.
Okay, all right.
Okay, we made our point.
This is a weird one here. Okay,
because Skyrim's coming out. My God!
And I crap on Skyrim all day, every day. I'm still gonna crap on it, but I did put this in here because Skyrim Anniversary Edition. Basically, it's been 10 years. I try every few years because everyone seems to love this game like it's the best thing ever created. And every time I try from the beginning where it was horrible, it's gotten better. But even 3 or 4 years ago when I tried again, I'm still just like, there's just better games. If you want to play this style game, the best thing I could think of, would be Witcher, right? Witcher 3,
I think Witcher's a much better game.
Because it's the same style as this, but just way better. Anyway, Skyrim Anniversary Edition releases November 11th on Game Pass or with a $20 upgrade fee if you own the last gen, but it's a next-gen version of the game. Adds every piece of the Creation Club content ever released, plus additional quest, armor, gameplay modes. They're also supporting PlayStation as well, so it's not like PlayStation is left out of all that. But they've said that from the start, they're going to still keep supporting the legacy. If the game was on a system prior, they're not going to stop supporting it. That's happening. So I got Game Pass. I don't have to pay anything. So I'm going to go ahead and give it another shot. And maybe the next gen upgrade is a nice upgrade. It actually does make it a lot better and more enjoyable. And we'll see. So I'm just putting this in to also tell you guys, hey, next episode, expect me talking about this upgrade and me either. I'm expecting to crap on it, but maybe you'll surprise me.
Yeah, let's hope it's the latter, because that would be nice. I played Skyrim one time for about 20 hours. I thought it was fun. I immediately noticed how crappy the combat was. Everything else, kind of interesting. I would get lost in some dungeons. Interesting game, but like you said, I just got lost in another game.
Even their previous games are far superior. So that's what makes it weird. If you were to play Morrowind, if you were to play Oblivion. Now, I guess some people can't get over graphics, but even if that's the case, there's easy solutions. You can just do mod things, but download a graphic mod, you're good to go. Also, Elder Scrolls Online is actually really good. Really good.
I've heard that as well.
So if you want to play Elder Scrolls, play Elder Scrolls Online. They actually have a Morrowind section in that, so you can experience Morrowind in that. Great experience. So just saying. I just think
great.
Skyrim, it's just, that's when they started with the whole broken mess.
Right. Everything started degrading. There's a certain point
so it's
where
really
it's just,
weird because before that point, Oblivion had its problems, but it wasn't because of polish. Basically, they had an issue with their dungeons because it was perceivably generated dungeons. So sometimes you would just get a really crappy one because it was perceivably generated. Sometimes you get a really good one. And a lot of people just didn't really like that. It wasn't like actually handmade. And if it was, it would have been better for that. But more when that wasn't the case. But either way, any of the games prior, they were polished. They were well made. They were very respected. Everything was great. And then like Skyrim comes out and it's just very buggy, glitchy, runs bad, looks bad.
Skyrim.
It was just a mess. And still to this day, you can mod it left and right, but it's still just janky.
Yeah, I think that's the number one thing everyone can agree on about that game. So I would like to sit down and give it a try again sometime. I'm going to be honest with myself. It's probably not going to be anytime soon.
Yeah.
Maybe at some point.
Again, it's because I got Game Pass and I can easily just boot it up and give it a shot.
I have it on my
Spend
Switch.
About an hour with it and just be like, we'll see.
Maybe one day.
All right, next up here, Halo Infinite Battle Pass. They just gave more details on this.
I love how they're updating us on all this stuff. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, keep it coming. I mean, we're pretty close now. We're a month away, dude.
God.
We're a month away.
I can't wait. Oh my God, just 1 month.
I was about to say 2 months, but we're 1 month.
Oof. Dude, we're going to play so much Halo. It's just going to be, we're going to get in so much trouble from our wives, first of all. And I don't even care. I'm just super excited.
Bro, hold on.
Let me just get one more match. Let me get one more match. And hold on. We're about to.
I wake up like 5:30 in the morning. I leave like a sticky note next to the bed.
Oh, dude, it's gonna be amazing.
She wakes up, rubbing her eyes. I'm like 4 hours in.
All you see is your face is illuminated. You're like, hold on, got to get the flag. Dude, just think about how much fun we had in those, like, let's say 15 to 20 hours that we played. And just having the actual game plus more content.
Working towards your rank.
Oh, man. I cannot wait. Super exciting.
Battle Pass is an infinite, never expiring, meaning if you don't finish a given Battle Pass before its associated season is up, you can still work on it on the next season. You'll only be able to work on a single Battle Pass like at a time, but you can switch it at any moment to anyone prior and then start working towards that one instead. And they never will like just go away and you can't receive that piece of content ever. So any content they ever release in a Battle Pass, you can always unlock, which is amazing because the whole thing is like up until this point, it's been such like a gimmicky moneymaker because it forces you to, I got to pay however much for the Battle Pass. And then you have to be constantly playing it. And then if you miss out, you paid the money, but then you got busy doing other things. Then the season ends. Well, there goes the money I spent and I didn't even get the item that I spent the money on. You don't have to worry about any of that. That's always really cool.
That. I think it's a smart business move, man.
Yep. That's all. Now, we did pretty much already know this. They just confirmed, hey, this is for sure what we're doing, because that's how it seemed like it would be whenever we're playing stuff like that. But they just didn't confirm it till now. So that's cool.
Yeah. Looking forward to that for sure. Any extra little thing that's easier for the consumer, I'm all about it.
You pay for the Battle Pass. I mean, they're still getting your money. So why should they care?
Like, it's not fair that you pay for the Battle Pass and then you can't reap the rewards because you couldn't play as much. It's not. So
that just resulting to very unhealthy obsessions of talk about money greedy people. That's money greedy people to where like it's actually hurting the health of your audience,
Yep.
Stupid.
Yep. Agreed.
Next up here, Final Fantasy VII Battle Royale, November 17th.
I almost forgot about this. Okay.
Yep, it's that First Soldier. I think it's what it's called.
Something like that. Yep.
I watched a little trailer of it. God, even for me, you can milk Final Fantasy VII all day, and I'm like, please give it to me. Please give it to me. Please give it to me. I'll take it all. But this is going too far. This is
like, we need a battle royale.
I will actually admit is going too far. And anything else has not up until this point. Man. No, for real. I love all the little side games, movies, whatever you can possibly throw my way. The more info I know, the cooler. But what am I gaining out of this? I don't gain anything out of this. I don't want this. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't. I have zero interest in this.
It didn't even like look fun. I tried watching it and the gameplay. It just looks so janky and stupid. I don't know.
Just trying to hop on board, man. That's all it is.
I can't get into it. Now, there are other stuff they're doing. So, you know how they're doing the Final Fantasy VII remake? They're also doing an actual, what do we call this now? So, they're doing another style remake to where they're actually going more in line of like, hey, this is the original game, and it's going to be beginning to end in like one release, but they're upgrading the graphics, music, voice acting, all of that. But it still looks like it, even the style of the game, the perspectives, it's like to the T.
Right. That's the same.
Yeah. But I guess it's technically a remake because it is a new engine, new music, new thing or whatever like that. But it looks very, very similar to the original game in the way it's presented.
Remember when they did Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition?
Yeah.
Remember that thing?
Yeah.
That was like the whole entire game, wasn't it?
So it's kind of like that. Well, I don't want to say it. Well, yeah, it is, because that is the whole game and everything's delivered to you.
It's so funny. I thought that was hilarious that they actually.
I never actually played it though. I am curious, like how close it is to the. Is it exactly beat for beat?
That's what I read, but I don't know for sure. I never played it myself, so. But I think that's.
But the Final Fantasy VII one, it is like actually like there isn't a single scene or a single screen cut out. So.
Gotcha. Okay.
They're doing that.
Okay.
So, anyway, next up, Marvel Adventures gets Spider-Man November 30th. So this has been, I think, promised for how long?
God, it's been a long.
They're finally delivering on this November 30th. If you care, no one cares, but if you care, next.
I'm trying to see before you go on. I want to see when it was first announced. Hold on, Spider-Man.
It was before the game came out.
Oh my God, when was it first announced? Spider-Man. Okay, August 3rd, 2020. Is that right? Spider-Man coming to Marvel's Avengers exclusively on PlayStation. It says August 3rd, 2020. When did the game come out? Let's see. Avengers.
It seems forever ago. It's weird.
It came out September 4th, 2020. So that makes sense. A month before release. But yeah, that's quite some time to have said it was coming, and then almost a year later.
Maybe if the game was in good shape, but it's not. So
every comment, nice. Yes, I want Spider-Man's game. I can't wait to play him soon.
I guess there's some fans. Okay. Is this on? What are you looking at this on?
It was on the PlayStation blog website.
Okay, so those are obviously the fans of the game, if they're
of course, yeah.
Okay. I was just because that does not sound like YouTube comments.
No. Those are way too nice to be YouTube comments.
YouTube comments would be the opposite of that. Anyway, I thought this was really cool. A Boy and His Blob came out November 4th. That was on Wii, and it's a remake of an old NES game. And then they made it all pretty for Wii. And then I think they released some other. No, I think that's just Nintendo property. Yeah, I know it's Nintendo first. That game is so good. Anyway, it's on Switch now. You should 1,000,000% play it. It's the cutest game. It's fun too, and like the blob just changes to so many different shapes depending on what you need him to do. Like he forms a little bridge for you, or as you're going, it's almost like a platformer puzzle type thing. But it's incredibly well made. The polish is through the roof.
I've only heard great things about it, so I'm sure it's awesome.
Yeah. All right. I should have thrown this right after the Spider-Man thing, but Marvel's Avengers revealed to be a disappointment by Square Enix.
No way.
Now, this was a shock to me because the fact that they're just outright admitting finally.
I know. I'm surprised that they actually said it out loud.
Yeah. They finally just admitted it in the open. Okay, it's a disappointment for us.
they're doing the Spider-Man meme where Spider-Man's pointing to Spider-Man, right? Trying to say who messed it up.
It makes me feel good because now that they acknowledge a disappointment, at least we can move on from this and they can learn a lesson from this and not try to repeat the same crap. And now we can hopefully expect better in the future.
I would hope so. Yeah. Just do what you did with Guardians of the Galaxy. That's all you had to do. Just make a good single player game, but they did not do it. So.
And I mean, I guess there's a good single player game up in there that's about 5 hours long.
Yeah. Is that how long the single player is in
that's
Avengers?
The thing. So I say 5 hours because it will go longer than that. But now you're forced in with all the rest of the stuff to keep playing. Now you're just playing this grindy, people joining in, the multiplayer sort of stuff. having to buy or unlock X, Y, and Z, but you need to grind to unlock, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, all that starts flooding in, and then you can technically continue the story.
I see.
There's about 5 hours of pure, just good single player, not messing with anything else, before the flood of tsunami of bullcrap just hits you, you know?
Of course.
Yeah.
So. If they ever try this again, I hope they really think about it a little more.
But everyone was shouting from the rooftops, hey, we don't want this. Please don't do this.
I truly don't understand their thinking.
They have no excuse. Next up, Niantic's Harry Potter AR game, Wizards Unite, will be shut down this January, and their Pikmin game is now out.
I guess I understand why they made this in the first place. They wanted to jump on the Pokemon Go hype and all that. I get it.
It's clearly not working.
It's too bad. Too bad it didn't work out for them, because clearly it didn't.
No. Without seeing the news, I'm like, wait, there's a Pikmin? So I started to dig deeper. I do download it, mess around with it.
Okay.
It's well made, but I'm not playing this. It's
right.
Tracks you're walking, you can get like flowers and stuff, then you can like plant new Pikmin and sort of collect them, and you can collect them all while you're out and about and stuff.
I see. So not a great time then.
Yeah.
From what it sounds like.
It's like kind of been here, done that, and Pokemon does it better.
Right.
So what's the point?
Can we just get a new Pikmin game overall? That'd be nice.
Hey.
I mean, I would love that.
I want to say 2014 even. There was a statement by Miyamoto saying, "Oh, we're almost done with Pikmin."
Oh yeah, I remember hearing that. I'm like, okay, good one.
We still haven't got it.
Now you really screwed up. God.
Hey, we're almost done. We're almost done. And it's like a decade later.
It's ridiculous, man.
Anyway. I never would, because I respect the guy too much. But you can imagine, like, you meeting him for the first time, and that's the first thing you mention to him. Hey, did you say Pikmin 4 was almost done? Like,
you also said a delayed game. You also said a delayed game is never bad. That's a lie. Clearly, I mean, look at some of these games that have come out. So, oh man, he's like, I created Mario. What the hell's wrong with you?
And then next up here, big Game Pass month for November. So Minecraft on PC. It was already on consoles, but they're throwing the PC version November 2nd. Unpacking November 2nd as well. Now, do you know anything about this Unpacking?
I saw a little bit of it.
It's kind of cool, actually.
It looks kind of interesting. Yeah, I watched a review on it.
I played a little bit of it last night. Well, realistically, I wanted to play this first chapter of the Life is Strange True Colors, but it was like midnight, 1 a.m., and I was tired, and I was like,
you're going to be falling asleep walking into buildings and stuff. Yeah, I get it.
So I played like 20 minutes of this Unpacking, and I was like, oh, this is cute.
Okay.
So I watched a review on Easy Allies thing, and they were basically, they were praising it pretty well. It seems like way more in depth than what I was imagining. I mean, I don't know why I would even want to play this otherwise, but they sold me on it. And it is really good. There's nice music, and basically what it is like, first of all, you're like a kid and you're unpacking these boxes to decorate your room. And then it jumps to 5 to 10 years later to where you're unpacking in your first little apartment. And then you're unpacking for like someone moving in, and you have a boyfriend, a girlfriend, or whatever. It's all these instances to where like time jumps and you have to unpack or pack.
Oh, okay. I
see. You see no characters, you see no story, you see not a line of dialogue. There's nothing.
Wow.
All you are is unpacking these boxes and realizing as you're setting stuff up or putting stuff away, a story's unfolding just through these items, And they do it in a really cool, creative way. So
that does sound cool. When I watched the review, I was like, this actually, if you told me this concept on paper, I'd be like, no.
Exactly.
But then when I watched it, I was like, oh, this is kind of a little interesting.
Appreciate when people do just outside the norm and trying to come up with cool, creative ways. Again, like the perfect example being Death Stranding. Please just go out of the wheelhouse. Give us something crazy. I'll try it.
Agreed.
But that's on there. It Takes Two, November 4th. So I'm going to play that with my wife.
Oh, man, you guys are going to love it. It's so fun.
Yeah, I'm very, very, very excited.
What I like about it is it's a game that someone who doesn't game could play, so you don't have to worry about that, because sometimes
I was
that
telling her that too, because I was like, look, I know you don't play games much. I mean, she'll play Animal Crossing. She used to play like Animal Crossing on GameCube whenever she was little. And, and she's maybe played 3, maybe 4 video games in her whole life. Sure. So I feel she could play this though, hopefully. I don't know.
Yeah. Just as long as she has like the camera controls down, like walking and looking. I know they have trouble with that sometimes.
So
Should be good then.
Okay.
It's really, man, it's such a blast. It's really fun. So I'm sure you guys will like it.
Forza Horizon 5, November 9th.
Dude, can we talk about this game for a sec? My God.
I kept sending you the review and being like, look, please watch this because I want to talk about this. So did you watch that IGN review?
Yeah, I started watching it, and then of course I was like out, my phone died, so I didn't finish it. But what I will say about this game is I watched some of that review, and I watched
you missed the ending banger.
Oh God! You know what? Don't even tell me that. I still need to watch it then. I will say, like, again, I'm not really a racing game person at all, but what I see from this game is just like unbelievable. Like, first of all, the screenshots I see, they look like real life first. Secondly, just the amount of detail it seems that they've put into this game is like on another level. So it makes me want to try it out.
Forza Horizon 4, right? They added all of this content over the 3 or 4 years it was out, whatever. I think 3 years. Yeah, 2018 till now. And so with 5, they're just bringing all of that into 5, right?
I see.
And then just adding more on top of that with the 5 release, because you got to add something new. You can't just release the same game, of course.
Right.
So not only is it just all of those 3 years of adding on top of what 4 already had, it's not the same content. I meant they added a new mode of Eliminator, okay? Meaning it's basically a battle royale version in a racing game. So a mode like that they came up with like year 2 of the game. So they're releasing all these modes and all these new things and all these new ways of playing or whatever. And then so all of that is coming. And then they add like plethora of new stuff on top of that as well. So they're thinking like, you buy this game, the amount of content that gets in your hands like day one is nuts, insane. Man. But they did give it a perfect 10, and the entire video, there's not one even slight negative thing he could possibly. He even says, that's I awesome. Couldn't come up with a negative thing to say because there isn't one. It's just the perfect video game.
It looks like an incredible game, man. So I'm gonna have to give that a shot because again, I've never purchased one of these games ever. I just don't.
I mean, you have a very high-end PC. You should be all over this. This game looks incredible.
Yeah.
I would love to see that game on like a 3080. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I might just sign up for Game Pass just for this to try it out.
You can get 3 months for $1 right now.
Jeez.
Just do that. You'd be really dumb not to.
I'm really curious to see how it plays and what it looks like.
Now, this close, and I'm just like, it'd be stupid. It wouldn't be. Anyway, you can pay... So they have this like deluxe package of like $40, and it comes with expansion 1, expansion 2. So like Forza Horizon 4, one of the expansion was the Lego expansion, which was super in depth, and you could like build your own base, and everything was Lego themed, Lego cars, Lego tracks, blah blah blah, and it was like huge map. I've played it a ton, and my kid loves it a lot too, and all of that. But what I'm saying is, so that's one of the expansions. So like you pay $40, you get expansion 1, expansion 2, and it's content like that. And then plus like VIP access to new car, which a new car releases every week. And I want to say it's for like 2 years straight. Every week you get a new car and all this mess.
Gotcha.
Anyway, so it's plenty of content or whatever, but you also get it be able to play starting the 5th instead of waiting for the 9th. And I want to play it so bad early. I'm like this close to paying $40.
Oh, you almost paid the extra.
And I was just like, no, I gotta like not do this. It's just, I don't know. I can wait. I can wait. And I just keep repeating that in my head because I keep seeing it and everyone's playing it.
What's the actual day that it comes out now? Everywhere at 9th. Okay.
So
you're so close at this point. You're so close.
It's so close. I'm just being stupid, but it's just...
What do you think about people who are saying, well, I pay for Game Pass every month. It's not fair that I can't play it the same day as people who pay the extra. What do you think about that whole argument?
This isn't... No.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
You pay $40 for these expansions, and the expansions are huge. I can't... You know how much content they're already giving you? Again, I got a 10 from IGN saying they couldn't think of one possible negative thing they could say about the game.
Right.
And the amount of content they give you is already more than any video game you probably ever played. And you're going to sit there and complain and be like, they didn't give me that much more for free. Come on, dude.
Right. I agree. Game Pass, you're paying for something already that you clearly are getting. So I think, I think that's that.
Anyway, no, there's no argument to be made there. Well, I didn't get my game early but I have Game Pass. Game Pass shouldn't mean that you get any DLC they ever release. That's a bit much.
Right. Yep. Agreed.
So, whatever. Plus, if I was them, I'd be working really hard to also make DLC on content I can sell, because I know I had so many customers getting it through Game Pass and not having to pay. I don't know. When you spend years making a game, you do want some revenue somewhere.
Yeah. Yep. And that'll encourage people to go out and spend more. So
because it's first party like Microsoft, not like they went and brought like a third party huge bag of money to put them on Game Pass. That isn't what's happening here. This is, oh, well, we ourselves are doing this and we need to find a way to make money outside of it, because otherwise they're just playing it and they're not paying.
Yeah, totally agree.
Anyway, it's a completely different scenario, and no, there's no.
Yeah, I just wanted to see what you thought about that, because I couldn't believe that people were actually complaining about that. So,
and just me, yeah, it's hard. Okay, I really badly want to play it early. Okay, but it's not that big of a deal. I can get over it.
Just relax, people. Relax.
All right, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, side of the Definitive Edition, November 11th. One Step from Eden, November 11th. Now, this is basically Slay the Spire meets Mega Man Battle Network. As weird as that sounds, it's totally what's going on here. But there's a little trailer here you can just highlight and see. It's Mega Man Battle Network combat, right? And then once you finish it, like Slay the Spire, you know how, have you played that game?
I haven't actually played it, no. I've heard a lot about it, though.
So there's plenty of games that do this.
I like the way the game looks,
when you beat something, like a boss or whatever the case is, it then pulls up like this map with like a chart, and you're basically moving up the map and then eventually fighting like the final thing. And then you go along the path and basically choose like left or right each time, being like, hey, I want to fight this enemy, or hey, I want to go to this question mark, or hey, I want to go to this treasure chest. It's almost like charting out your destination, and it gets harder and harder as you go along this path of choosing which direction you want to go. And then once you're inside of it, the actual combat is like a Mega Man Battle Network thing, where it's like the grid base on each side, and you're, you know, if you played it, you know, otherwise I don't know how to describe it. How do you describe Mega Man Battle Network combat system?
No, I get what you're saying, though, with the branching paths and all that stuff. That makes sense. All right, that looks cool.
Yeah, I actually want to play that. Next up, November 11th as well, Elder Scrolls, the Skyrim Special Edition of the new next-gen versions. And then November 18th, they're releasing the Microsoft Flight Simulator Game of the Year edition. And then
wait, did you miss Grand Theft Auto?
No, I said that.
Oh, sorry, I must have missed that. I wanted to comment that I was gonna get it. I'm excited to play these again, because I beat Grand Theft Auto 3 and never beat the other two.
Well, if you get Game Pass to play Forza, you'll be able to play San Andreas.
Yeah, well, too late. I already got them anyway. So
you bought the collection.
But, yeah, nice. I got them on. I really hate to get it on Rockstar Launcher, but that's what I had to do. That's the only way I could play them on PC and have them here. But anyway, I'm excited, because I almost feel like experiencing these games for the first time was probably amazing. And I've played some of them. Excuse me, like a good portion of each of those games. I just never beat them. So I don't know all the twists and turns it takes, the story and all that. So I'm excited.
I beat them all, and I don't remember any of it. So how long ago that was.
Long time ago.
And I'm like young too, and I'm fooling around. Even though I beat it, I definitely was not, however old I was, and paying attention to the story. I definitely was not. So
that's what I'm really looking forward to, is experiencing it this time around. Obviously, being older and all that,
being an adult and being able to actually get the context to the jokes and references and all of that.
Exactly. So
it's gonna be really cool. I'm very excited for that.
Yeah. Sorry, I missed that. I didn't know you had said that.
No, it's cool. And then Undungeon, November 18th. This looks super dope, and it got incredible reviews on Steam of it.
Oh, I've seen this. This does look really cool, actually.
So I'm also, there's a lot in this month that I really, I'm gonna keep playing this unpacking thing. It's a very chill game. I just kind of play on the side.
Something you could just kind of, Yep.
It Takes Two. I'm playing Forza Horizon 5. I'm playing San Andreas. I'm playing One Step from Eden. I'm playing the Skyrim edition thing. I'm playing. I've been playing Microsoft Flight Simulator, so I'm gonna keep playing that. And then Undungeon. All of these are things, and this isn't all of them. This is just the ones that I'm like, oh, well, I'm playing this. I'm playing this. I'm playing this, and I kept going. I want to see. I want to play all these.
I get it, man. I feel like I'm trying to. I say that I'm freeing myself up, kind of. Like I've just taken certain games that I'm like, I don't have time for right now. Like I want to finish the games I'm playing now, and then I want to go back to Far Cry, but then I want to get back on my Halo single player campaign mission. Cool. You know, I still need to do ODST. What came after ODST? Reach? No, 4 first. ODST, 4, Reach, then Halo Wars 2, and Halo 5. So I got 5
But you
games
don't
left.
have to play in that order when it comes to Reach and ODST. Those are like you don't have to worry about order.
I know they are, but I already started ODST anyway,
Okay.
so I kind of just want to.
You should play that. I do like it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my goal. We'll see.
It's not like I'm playing all these games to completion. I mean, let's just try to think like, okay, what am I actually playing to completion?
Right.
I probably would finish Unpacking because it's probably only a few hours. I think they only said 2 or 3 hours. Yeah. It takes 2. I need to play and complete that.
Oh man, you're gonna love that.
I'm playing and completing Forza. I'm playing and completing San Andreas. One step from Eden. I just got to play and see how that's going to be. I don't know. That's the I don't know one. Just depends how much it grabs me here. Skyrim, I'm definitely not playing the completion.
No way, it'll take you forever.
I just really want to see. Okay, is this still crappy? Yes or no? That's all I'm trying to get accomplished.
Elden Ring's gonna come out. You're still gonna be playing Skyrim.
No way. Microsoft Flight Simulator. That's not even like a game. That's just, hey, I want to fly around and check out a cool city or something like that from time to time. I just leave it installed and just mess around with it from here and there. Yep. So that's different. And then this Undungeon thing, I got to play and see what I think. So I don't know.
Very cool. Very cool.
All right.
A lot of good ones.
And then what we're playing, what we're watching.
Sure.
What are you doing?
Voice of Cards, still playing it. I believe I'm on like chapter 4 now. I want to say there might be 6 or 7 chapters. The game is longer than I thought. You know, I can see the game being beaten in one day if you really just want to mainline it. But I love, like, I can't help but, you know, how each area is laid out in cards, right? I can't help but flip over every single card, first of all. Like, I want to know everything that's on there. So when you land on this one spot, everything adjacent to you and then right in front of you flips over. So that's slowing me down because you get into encounters and things like that. But the story's getting interesting. I'm meeting new characters. I'm getting new skills. It's great, man. I love it. And I had to force myself to turn off the Nier Replicant music because I want to experience the music of this game because the Nier Replicant music is so damn good. It's great, though. I want to stay on like 5 hours.
Genuinely liking it.
I do like it. At first, I thought it was going to be a game that, like, it's fine and that's it. And some reviewers even said that, but I don't feel that way. I think it's better than that. It's not, you know, it's not some amazing game either, but I think it's worth playing. Okay. It's good. It's got a pretty straightforward story. The combat is pretty simple, but it's getting interesting. There's a lot of cool interactions. There's a lot of like random events that happen. You step on a card and, oh, you found this guy. He's doing this. What do you want to do? There's stuff like that happens a lot. It's cool. And they have this really cool mechanic where when you defeat enough of one kind of enemy, you can see their reverse card, like in your collection. It's almost like a bestiary, right? Or a human one too. So let's say I fight this enemy. They appear in my bestiary now as a card. Gives a description. When you beat enough of them, it gives you the flip side description. And some of them are really interesting. Like you learn some really kind of like deeper things about why these monsters are doing what they're doing or whatever it is. Other ones are just silly things, but
that's cool. Yeah.
I thought that was a little interesting touch. But yeah, for $30, I mean, it's definitely worth it in my opinion. You know, I've put 5 or 6 hours into it now, and I'm still got a while to go. So
cool.
Definitely enjoying that one. Guardians, we've talked a lot about, obviously, but I will say that I just did the.
Well, you're a lot. The last we talked about it, you're only an hour in. Now you're like 5 hours in, like you're saying. So you played a big chunk more. I mean, I want to know what you're thinking now.
Oh man, I already liked the game off the bat, and then I just did a section this morning. I believe it was chapter 4, where you go to Lady Hellbender and you bring Groot with you and all that.
That was awesome.
Oh my god, so good. I love that. That was
the whole traveling moment too, leading up to it. Very cinematic, and then you have the flashback and stuff. God.
Dude, I was so impressed. I was just sitting in my chair. I'm like, this game is awesome. I love
when
that
you
whole
were exploring
part
the house, when you're young in your house and you're walking around. So I spent so much time just like taking photos of different rooms and appreciating the amount of detail on like just a dresser or a curtain or every little piece in the house. Man, this is like Red Dead Redemption 2 is what was coming to my mind whenever, you know, like walk in a house and you see all the attention to detail to like the blankets to the every piece in the house being to the T what it was in that time and be incredibly just graphically well made. When
I was in the apartment, like you, I was looking around at things, and you know what made it way better than other games is I love Life is Strange, for example, but when you go to, you know, you see this bag of chips sitting on the table and you walk over to it, you press A. What happens in Life is Strange is it kind of stops, She like reaches, grabs it, pulls it up, makes a comment, and then you're like that, right? Guardians is like you click it and you're instantly in it, which I love. It makes me want to look at things more. In Life is Strange, I found myself after a while just
too much of a
things,
drag.
Right. It literally takes a whole second before you're interacting. Guardians, it's like half a second you're in there. So I think that's great.
You hit A and then it's just immediate like commenting on like you and your mom playing a board game or whatever.
Right. Then, right. So I love that. I finished that section out. I went back to the present time or whatever. And man, that whole sequence, the next like 20 minutes was so cool. I loved that. I love Hellbender's
Did you finish that moment though? Like, I don't want to
interacting with her and all that. Yeah. I finished it. Like I left the planet.
Okay. Yeah. So the way you had to like go and save. Who did you pick to?
I put Groot. I put Groot down there.
Groot as well. Because I'm thinking, like, there's no way little raccoon, she's gonna be pleased with this. No way.
Right. And I just loved every moment of that whole interaction. You going down there. I love the way her character was designed, the way she acted. She's like this queen of all these freaking monsters, and then the way she interacted with Drax and Drax. Stuff Drax was saying that
she's flirting so hard, and he's like, "Is she flirting with me?" He's like, "Yes, dude, keep it going."
He's like, by the size of your weapon, I can tell you're a formidable warrior. I loved it so much. I love that whole part.
The whole bit to where like when they're trying to decide, like everyone knows Groot isn't mean at all and way too nice stuff, and even Groot knows. And so Groot's trying his hardest to seem like
he's like, "I am Groot."
And even the main lady, she's not convinced either. She's like, but she knew he was like one of the very few that existed.
Right, last of his kind.
So that's the only reason the value was even worth it.
I loved it, man. I thought it was great. I'm looking forward to playing more today. So gotta keep going with that one.
It's so good. That's what I'm saying. It's so good with its attention to details, not just the objects in the world, but how in depth they are to think everything through of like what this person may think, how this person may think, how they're going to respond to this, how they're going to respond to that.
Yep.
Everything's fully thought out. And it really makes me appreciate like how much work got put into that, because you got to know that was really hard to have that much polish.
Totally agree. Anyway. So I'll obviously keep updating you with my thoughts on that after I keep going. So I'm on chapter, I think 5 now. So
yeah, I keep playing it and I don't know. It just keeps ramping up and up and up for me. I love it.
Just really enjoying my time with it. So now this one kind of caught me off guard. I started the Dark Pictures anthology, the House of Ashes, with a friend of mine. And remember, I played Man of Medan. It was okay. I'd probably give it like a 6 out of 10. You know, the controls were not great. The story was okay, not great. A lot of not great in that game, right? Okay, we played it. And the thing that's cool about these games is every time you finish the game, they instantly give you a short teaser trailer for the next game. And it almost seems like they're coming out once a year, almost always around Halloween, which is cool, right? So we finished that. Then we played Little Hope. The control issues were still there, but the game looked a little better. The story was a little more interesting. Okay, fine. We played this one. And already in the first like 10 minutes, it's grabbed me more than the other two already. The controls feel way better. You have like free range controls now, not these fixed angles and stuff. The acting is better. The characters look better. The story is way better, like way, way better. And so we played the whole thing. It took us about probably like 5 or 6 hours total. We got to the end of it. By the end, you know, the trope with these games is that everyone can die or everyone can survive. And it's up to you to obviously try to do it. So we got to the end with 3 out of the 5 characters alive. And I got to say, losing those 2 characters, man, they really hurt way more than the previous games. I just didn't even care about the characters in the other ones. This one, the characters were really, really well done, actually. I actually really cared. It touched on some interesting things because, remember I told you, it takes place like during the beginning of the Iraq war.
Yeah.
There's even like an Iraqi soldier who's involved with you. He's one of the characters versus all the American soldiers. And you guys are in this terrible situation together. And they just do a really good job. There's like relationships going on with people. There's like the conflict going on. And when you're down there and you're experiencing all these terrible things they experience, which I won't spoil, it like all goes out the window. And it's all about the characters, their relationships with each other. It's really well done. I loved it, man. I thought it was the best one yet. I would say to anyone wanting to play these games, just play this one because the first 2 are so-so. I really wouldn't recommend them. But this one was really good.
I don't want you to play it immediately back to back, but I'll play this one with.
Yeah, we got to play it sometime for sure because I would like to try to do some different things, maybe start with a different character as well. That's what I love about it. You never play the same character repeatedly throughout the
you
thing at all.
saying to die, now you know what to do, and
Right,
maybe
right.
someone else will
Yep.
die and whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's so cool because you might be seeing something completely different than me, and I might walk into your camera review, and you can find like premonitions. Like I found a premonition and I saw this particular character dying. I was like, what the heck? And then when we get to that scene later on, I'm like, oh my god, he's gonna die this way. I got to do this thing instead. You know,
Nice.
so that's really cool how they do that. And the whole time you're playing these games, there's like a guy who's narrating, and it'll go to him in this quiet room. He's like very eerie looking and creepy, and he just is narrating your story. Oh, so you lost 2 people along the way. That's too bad. Whatever. Let's see what you do here. And then it goes back to the game.
Okay.
It's really cool. It looks like it's almost like he's telling a collection of stories, and this is the 3rd story. And so we finished it last night, and it shows a trailer for the next one, which is called The Devil in Me. It's like a serial killer, and
Cool.
it's exploring his psyche and everything, and it looks great, man. So yeah, so I think it's really well done. So definitely recommend this one, especially compared to the other ones that came before it. So
Nice.
just to wrap it up, I've been watching a few shows. I finished You. Have you seen the show at all?
No, it doesn't seem interesting to me, but
Have you seen Dexter yet or no?
the New Blood or
No, like just the original
yeah.
show.
I didn't.
Okay,
I mean, the ending was dumb, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I didn't like that ending either. But You reminds me of Dexter in some ways. It's a little different, but it's the same idea with like he has this monologue going on all the time.
At first, I thought you meant like me. You said
Oh
you.
yeah.
I was like, how could I remind you of Dexter? I hope I do not remind you of Dexter.
No, it's a good show, man. There's been 3 seasons. Each season has been pretty different from the previous one. So yeah, so I watched that, finished it. I loved it. And then Dexter comes out tonight. So I don't know what to expect with Dexter, but
That's
I
cool.
watched the original show. I loved it.
Tonight on what?
On Showtime, I think it
Okay.
is. I think Hulu as well if you have the package together. But all these years later, can they deliver a good show? I don't know. I guess we'll see. So
And I'm kind of expecting the first, because you kind of like, you would hope they would at least get the first right and really, really good.
right.
I'm curious,
Pull you in.
like episode 10. Okay, are we
Right,
still
right.
good?
Yep. No, I totally agree. So I'm gonna see what I think.
I'm worried it's just falling off again.
They got to pull people in with the first episode, I would say, for sure. So
To be honest, I mean, people can say season 3, 4, 5, blah, blah, blah. But honestly,
Right.
Dexter season 1 and then season 2, you can kind of stop there. I wouldn't even continue
Yeah.
after season 2, to be honest.
it's for me, it's like season 1 through 4 I thought were great. And I thought season 3 was pretty different, but season 5 and 6 were just like,
Like 3 and 4 are good, but I'm just saying, like 1 and 2
Yeah.
are like,
you get the general idea.
I don't know, almost like a incredibly good movie that you would recommend a million people.
Right.
And then like 3 and 4, it's like, yeah, it's pretty good.
Sure. Yeah, it all depends how you feel, I guess, by the time you get to 2. You want more of the same, then go for it. Otherwise, there's no need, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited to see what happens, man. Hopefully it's good. Hope I'm talking next week and I'm like, oh my God, the first episode was amazing and drew me back in, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
You know?
I'm going to watch it too.
So,
I mean, I loved the beginning of Dexter.
Oh my God, same here. So
all I've been playing is Guardians of the Galaxy, and I haven't played anything more. And we already talked about that. I mean, I played Nier Replicant some more, but I don't know what else more to say on it.
Yeah, I think we've made it very clear how we feel about that game. I just can't wait till you get past part 1.
Yeah,
Then things have to really
so
open
I'm
up.
getting close to that happening. So I do need your
Okay.
help on like, hey,
Yeah,
what side
definitely.
things do I need to complete?
Okay.
As you were
Okay, I
saying
can let
with
you
the
know.
weapons and all that.
Did you ever do the fishing quest? By the way, you don't have to. I'm just curious if you found a fisherman at all that wanted you to help him catch some fish.
No.
Okay, there's a quest you could do, and it's a long, like 5-part quest. And it's just this guy. He's like, I need 10 of these fish.
I mean,
Okay.
is it worth
We
it
go-
or not? I mean,
You don't have to do it. I just think it's worth doing the first one, maybe at least, because it's kind of like a fun little mini game, and you really gotta. He gives you some interesting dialogue, and then at the end of it, something happens. But it's nothing. It's nothing that you need to go crazy over, and it's way too much work for the payoff that you get.
Okay.
So yeah, probably not.
all right. Well, new games coming out next week
Yeah.
here. There's a few good ones here. So, Football Manager 2022, November 9th. Forza Horizon 5, November 9th. Jurassic World Evolution 2, November 9th. Among Trees.
games,
I don't know what this Among Trees is.
Let me look it up.
November 10th.
Lug trees.
Bright Memory Infinite, November 11th.
That game looks really cool, by the way.
It is cool. It's just very... It's definitely indie, but with like a good graphic engine.
It's like one person who made it. It's just nuts. It doesn't look like a game one person made.
But it's not very well. This is Infinite. I think this is different.
It's like an updated version of what he made before.
Okay, cool.
Because I was looking into it. Yeah.
Because I played the original. It's only like 2 or 3 hours. It's very short. It's kind of cool, but there's so many things like also wrong with it, and it's hard to really be like, oh, it's a good game. It feels like a bunch of assets from a bunch of different games just kind of mashed into one, but not in a well done way. It feels all over the place and weird.
Okay.
It technically is fun and looks cool. So I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. I'm watching some video of it, and again, the fact that this is one guy is mind blowing to me because this looks like a studio made it. I don't know. It's just nuts. But I looked up.
It's hard because I don't want to crap on it too much because it is really cool. But on the other hand, I don't know. Just know what you're getting into. It's just weird.
Sure. It's only $9.99 too, which is nice. Yeah. I looked up Among Trees though. It looks like a peaceful game. I mean, it says explore, build. You build your cabin. You can do cooking, gardening, crafting, sewing, explore a living, colorful world. Okay. Dangerous animals roam in the woods. Better keep a distance.
Maybe I did put it in here because I did think it looked cool. Because that's usually what I do. Is like, okay, if a game's worth it, then I'll add it to the list. So I must have. Right. Let me.
It's a really beautiful game. I'll say that much for sure. The art style is really nice.
I did see this. I really like this a lot. That's why. Yeah, I remember. Okay.
Yeah, looks cool.
That's a Game Pass game. I wish that would be on Game Pass.
Yeah, definitely.
I want to play that, but I don't really want to buy it because I don't know what I'm getting into.
It's pretty cool.
But that looks really neat.
It does.
Grand Theft Auto, the trilogy, November 11th.
Very excited.
So PlayStation members get, a month later. In December, they get
Grand Theft Auto?
It's either 3 or Vice City. It's not San Andreas.
Let me see.
I forget which one they do, but they get one of them on the PlayStation Now, not PlayStation Plus. Sorry, on
PlayStation Now.
They're getting it in December. Game Pass is getting it day one of San Andreas.
Gotcha. Okay,
but I forget the PlayStation Now. Which one was it?
GTA 3 remaster will be playable as part of PS Now. Dude, I love the way that this guy looks. This is so cool. Hold on, I'm gonna send it to you right now. The way that the protagonist in GTA 3 looks, it's so cool now. The way they kind of like redid it, you know? Right at the top. It's just so cool. I love that.
Actually, he looks cooler than the other characters.
He looks so like if I pull up GTA 3, the original, he looks so boring.
He could be like in a 80s action film kind of vibe going on there. Not Arnold Schwarzenegger because he's not that big. Definitely got that cool 80s action star vibe going on.
I mean, look how he looked in this one. It's just like it's so much cooler. I don't know. I love it.
Yeah, like what is that? Yeah,
it's just like a generic. Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited, man. It's gonna be cool.
I said to like a few people, I'm really, really hyped for this, and they're usually just crapping on it and being like, "Why?"
No, I'm excited, man.
I think everyone's so salty because it's like Grand Theft Auto, and it's so much like copy sold, and they have so much money, and it's just fun to crap on them now. But I'm not thinking about all that, dude. I just want to play the trilogy, and those are awesome games.
They're just such easy games to jump into anytime and play and knock out a few missions and have a good time. Like there's still people who think that Grand Theft Auto is just go out and cause mayhem, when in fact they have these great stories
you want it to be, first of all.
Right. Yeah. It doesn't have to just be that. So
there's plenty of things to do outside of that. All right.
Oh yeah.
Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic on Switch, November 11th. That's cool. Getting that Switch port of the original. That Skyrim special edition of like the next gen versions, November 11th.
Yep.
And then Shin Megami Tensei 5, November 12th. I am going to play 5.
Any interest
I don't know. Okay. We'll see where it takes me. You know what I mean? If I keep playing or not. Yep. I know it's very hardcore. I did play 4, so I know what to expect. I actually just recently got 3 because this 5's a lot more like Shin Megami Tensei 3. 4's a bit different, and so it's hard to really judge. I wish I could. 4, I guess it's the atmosphere is so entirely different in 4 to where 3 and 5 are very similar in atmosphere.
I see. Okay.
But the problem is like a lot of people, they're going to want to try it and they're going to be turned off because Shin Megami Tensei 5, all of them, they'll hit you with a strong starter of like story, okay? But it's to give you context for like an hour or two. And then you're going to be dumped in this world and you're going to play 10 to 15 hours without any story. Very barren wasteland of basically this is a fallen down city, either way in the future, way in the past, and everything's just desolate and there's nothing really much going on. But demons are just all over the place and super prevalent. And it's almost like this war of angels and gods and demons all fighting together and all of that. And you're sort of up in this realm. But there's grinding. It's very hard. The environment is very much going to be very samey. But where the game super, super shines is in its characters and these demons. They're some of the most creative, versatile, like just their dialogue to how they look to how in depth they go, the fusions with the demons to create new things.
That's awesome.
It very much focuses on the gameplay side of things and not too much on story. So it's super, super, super heavy gameplay. And just know, because Persona is the exact opposite of that almost. Like there's so much story and there's so much social stuff in Persona. None of that's here. This is a very, very hard, very gameplay centric kind of game.
Okay. So, all right. I'm curious to see how the new one pans out. Well, it's coming out this week, right? So it should be soon. We'll know. All right, sweet. And it's a Switch exclusive, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah, that'll be big for...
Which is cool, because with a game like this, too, you do want to play it portable, because it being like gameplay and it being RPG and just being able to like lay on the couch and like just kind of grind away. You definitely would want it on the Switch.
That's like how I feel about Bravely Default 2. It's like that's
perfect for
a game I should definitely be playing handheld. So,
and that will do the show. Short and sweet.
There we go.
Not too much.
I mean, short to us. I mean, an hour 46. Okay.
It's better than 3.5 hours. You know.
I think we're due for another long banger soon, like we did with me, you, and Dave talking about PlayStation. That showcase they did. Man, that was a long one.
Right. I'm excited though, because right around the corner here, I mean, I'm going to be talking It Takes Two, because I'm going to be able to play that. I'm going to be playing Forza Horizon 5. I'm going to be playing this San Andreas. Like, there's a lot here that I'm going to be talking on next time around the Sun Dungeon, whatever. So, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot to look forward to. I'm going to try to play Guardians of the Galaxy through by Thursday, but that'll be kind of a tall order. I'm going to see what I can do.
Yeah, and I'm like really deep into Guardians, and I'm playing it like every day, any moment I can.
How many hours are you thinking?
I think the game 25 and I'm 13.
Okay. I saw a lot of reports saying the game... Here, let me just throw it right now. How long to beat Guardians of the Galaxy? Well, how long to beat says main story 16 and a half, but extra 19.
Okay.
Completionist 23. So let's say 16 to 20-ish hours, probably normal. Sounds about right.
Cool.
Yeah, I got to start trucking here. These kids are going to do a lot of TV today because I want to play this game.
First of all, go join our forums.
Yes. Please.
The Inside Byte, look it on Facebook and join up in there. Send questions to us. What's the email? Because I would love to have questions for like next episode. The Inside Byte podcast at gmail.com. Send us questions. We'd love to read them on next episode.
Yeah, please. I'd love to answer questions.
Join the Facebook forum. Ask questions all up in there. We'll be back next week, and I got a ton of stuff I want to talk about.
Yeah, sounds good. Everyone take care. We'll see you then.
See you.